In this video, I'm going to show you a complete workflow for creating role plays in iSpring Suite 11 with a step-by-step role play example. First, very quickly, I will show you a brief overview of iSpring authoring tool, which has a set of tools for online course creators. And you can convert your PowerPoint presentation into an online course very easily and quickly. Then we will talk about why role plays are such an important component for e-learning courses and how you can use iSpring content library, its text-to-speech feature and few other features to create engaging role plays for your courses. So if you are a registered training organization creating courses for staff training for their professional development, or you are an independent online course developer, then this video will help you for creating role plays. So let's get started after a short break. iSpring provides a complete set of tools for creating online courses. It has a screen recorder, iSpring Cam Pro, it has a quiz maker, it also has a TalkMaster tool for creating role plays. You can also create interaction. So this slide shows you the types of content you can create in iSpring set of tools. You can create SCORM compliant courses, quizzes, role plays, screen recordings, interactions and even books. Previously I have made 3 videos which are shown on this screen, but in this video we are going to focus on role plays. Role plays are class activities where you try to create a story by using 2 or more characters, but the main objective of every role play is to teach your students or staff a particular skill, in most cases only one skill. And it is believed that by using role plays, the activity will become engaging and memorable, and therefore students will memorize the skill they have learned in that role play. Now before we go further, thanks to iSpring for sponsoring this 3 video series. 2 will be coming in next few weeks, and in these videos we will be looking in some exciting features of iSpring Suite 11. And now before I show you the role play example that I have created for this video, I would like to mention 4 main steps for creating a role play. Then I will show you the example, and then at the end we will see the workflow for creating this role play. So there are 4 main steps. First is that you do a training need analysis. And in our example, you are a company who is starting selling laptops from a new brand, but you are getting a lot of complaints and returns, and your customer service staff is unable to handle those complaints. They call you and they are wasting your time. So you think that there is a requirement for training, and you want to train your staff to communicate with unsatisfied customer in a particular way. You want to give them a transcript. So in the first step, you try to understand what they are currently doing wrong, what they are saying to the customer. So you have their current script, then you also try to find out what they don't know. For example, about the company's refund policy or the warranty policy, or how much time it takes to repair a laptop. So after this training need analysis, the second step is that you write down all those details, what are the current flaws, and then the third step is the most important step, where you prepare a dialogue, the training transcript, which you will show them in a role play. First you will explain a scenario, a situation, and then you will put their current replies, what they are currently doing wrong, and the one reply which you want them to give to the customer. So 1 or 2 wrong replies and 1 correct reply. Then you ask them to select the one which they think is correct, and if they select it correctly, they continue to the next step, and if they select a wrong reply, you communicate with them that this answer is wrong and why it is wrong. So the role play goes on and they learn along the way. So this is the example which I am going to show you in a minute, but this is the third step, the design of the dialogue. The fourth and final step is how to create this role play in iSpring, your authoring tool, so that you could deliver this to the staff or students. So these are the 4 main steps. So now I am going to play this role play, and then finally I will show you my workflow. And if you follow that with the attention to details, you will be able to create these types of role plays in few minutes, because I will show you a systematic workflow. Now when you are using iSpring as your authoring tool, your e-learning course is a PowerPoint file. So this is my PowerPoint file which only has a role play. no other course element. So I double click on that and it opens in PowerPoint. And in PowerPoint we have this iSpring Suite 11 tab. We design our e-learning courses in this area. Now my role play is on slide 2, but normally you put one slide as an introductory slide for your staff members or for your students so that they can understand what they need to do, what they should expect. So I have explained few things. You can pause the video and you can read it. And then we have this role play. Now I'm going to preview this role play. To do that, I click on this preview. It will take few seconds and then it will start playing. Now let me maximize this window. This is my introductory slide and now I click on next.
An angry customer comes with a faulty laptop and asks for the return after 8 months.
So this was a brief scenario to students and now they can start the role play. So I click on start.
Hello, I purchased this laptop 8 months ago and went overseas. It stopped working and never turns on and dead, not even charges its battery. I want to return this and get my money back.
So this is what an angry customer is saying, and now I have put these 3 options. And the first 2 options are those wrong reply which, for example, my staff member is giving to the customer. And the third one is the reply which I want them to give to the customer on their first interaction. So now they have to select one option. So let us say that they select this first one.
I am sorry to say, but we cannot return any item after 30 days.
This answer is incorrect. We must try to resolve the issue first.
At this wrong answer, this message will be displayed and they have to restart the role play. So if they click on continue,
an angry customer comes with a faulty laptop and asks for the return after 8 months.
They will have to restart from the beginning. So if the answer is seriously wrong, you should send them to the beginning of the role play so that they can revisit and rethink why their answer was wrong. If it's a small mistake, you can give them the option to continue with the role play. So this is completely up to you. And we will see in a minute. Now I'm going to skip part of this video to avoid repetition and we will go to the next step. And now let us assume that this time they select the correct reply, which is the third one.
I am sorry to hear that. Let me see what I can do. Can I ask some more details?
This answer is correct. We may not return, but we may repair the fault if under warranty and make customer agree to that.
And now we have provided them a little bit of explanation. And now they can click continue.
Yes, what do you want from me?
And now this is the second step. Customer is ready to cooperate. And now again there are 2 replies. The first one is correct and the second one is not, because you don't want to ask the driver license in the beginning. The first thing you want to ask is the receipt. So if I click on this.
Do you have the receipt for this purchase?
This is the correct answer. Look for dates and what can be done.
So this was the correct answer. Let's continue.
Yes, I have the receipt. Here it is.
And now there is only one answer. And this indicates that at this step, all of our staff members, once they ask for the receipt, they know what to check in the receipt. No training is required at this stage.
I can see the date of purchase, but can I ask when the problem started and did you contact anyone?
The problem started after nearly 3 weeks. When I was overseas, I contacted the manufacturer and got a case number which is AS2358871, but there was no local repair agent.
Again, no training is required at this step, so I click on that.
Okay, this laptop is still under warranty. Now you need to leave this laptop at store. I am going to give you a receipt for that, and we will fix it for you.
But I would like to return this and get my money back.
Again, I click on this because I wanted to make this example very short.
I am afraid this is not as per our policy. We accept returns only within 30 days of the purchase. After that, we fix the fault.
And how much time it will take to fix this issue?
Now again, there are 2 answers. One is correct, one is wrong. We should not mention any time. So therefore, this answer is correct. I click on that.
We are unable to tell at this stage. It depends on the fault, but normally it could be between 3 to 6 weeks. Do you want me to proceed?
This is the correct answer. We should explain to the customer and talk logically.
Now I click on continue.
Okay, sure, I am happy with that.
And the customer is happy with this solution. And now this is the final reply. I click on
Here is the receipt and we will send you an email when your laptop is ready, and we apologize for any inconvenience.
and we have a happy customer. So this was a role play in which we tried to give our customer service staff a transcript on how to communicate with the customer. And now let us see what is the workflow for creating this role play. Now the first step in creating a role play is that you make a flow diagram. You can make it on a simple piece of paper with a pencil so that you can erase and modify as you are making it. But for the sake of this video and because I know this software, I have drawn this in a free and open source flowchart maker which is called diagram editor. I have 2 videos on my channel which you can watch. In this flow diagram, you start from the description or scenario of the role play which you have just seen in the first slide, and then you have to imagine next scenes as this role play progresses. So this is my scene 2. I want to put these 3 answers. The first 2 are not correct while the third is correct. And now depending on which answer the trainee of this course selects, I then have a decision to make. For answer number 1 or 2, they have to restart the role play. Therefore, this line is going back to the first step from both of these answers 1 and 2. While if the staff member or trainee gives the third answer, then this message will be played. This is the correct answer and the role play will move further down. And as you can see that every one of this is a separate scene that we have to create in iSpring, which I am going to show you next. So I have put few green rectangles around these first 4 scenes, but then I have stopped putting these rectangles because it is very easy to recognize that this is another scene and then this is a scene, and then again based on the answer we have to create 2 different scenes. In this case here, even if the answer is wrong, I want to explain to them why the answer is wrong, but then I am allowing them to continue to the next step, as you can see with this arrow. And we have to design this role play exactly in the same manner in iSpring. So first you try to make this in this flow diagram manner, and then we simply copy this in iSpring, which I am going to show you in a minute. So there are 15 scenes in total, and if you compare this with the role play example I just showed you, you will realize that this is exactly the same. This flow diagram represents the role play I showed you. Once you have created this, you have to copy and paste this text, the description text and all the answers in a spreadsheet. And this is the spreadsheet I have created from that flow diagram. So on the left hand side, this column is simply 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have scene 1, scene 2, and there are 15 scenes. In the next column, I have put the text for description and the text for what customer is saying, what are the possible replies. All this text is in this column for every scene. Then in the next column, I am just putting file names of the audio files which I will be creating in iSpring from this text using text to speech feature of iSpring. So I will use this text and the file I save will be with this name. And there is a specific naming convention going on here. The first file name will be sc1-des for description. sc1 means scene 1. Then scene 2-c means that customer will be saying these words. Then scene 2 R1 means reply 1. Then scene 3 T1. T1 means this is the first training point or the training transcript which we are going to give to our staff members. You can use any code words for your files. In the next column, I have selected 3 voices out of many available in iSpring text to speech tool. So the first voice is for the trainer, the second voice is for the customer, and the third voice is for the trainee. Then I have selected 3 different colors: yellow for the trainer, orange for the customer, and light blue for the replies or for the trainee. And now what we are going to do is, we are going to go into iSpring text to speech. We are going to copy paste this and create audio files. And then in the final step, we will be creating the role play in iSpring, just like a flow diagram which I have shown you earlier. Now in order to make role plays in iSpring, you have to do 4 steps only. Number 1, make audio files from the text. Number 2, make scenes. Number 3, link those scenes. And number 4, insert audio files. Now to create audio files, I click on this iSpring Suite 11 and then screencast and then create project. This is iSpring Cam Pro. Now I click on this audio and text to speech. And now my spreadsheet, I copy this text, place in here, select the voice. Let us select the first one. I can also preview, but let us click insert. And within 1 second, I will get this audio file and I can save this on my computer with the file name convention I want to use, scene1-description, and I click save. I'm not going to do that. In this manner, you create all these audio files and save in a folder. Step 1 completed. Now the next of the 3 steps will be performed in iSpring TalkMaster. Let us assume that I want to create a new role play. So I click here and right click and add a slide. First I have to add a slide in my PowerPoint file. Then I click on role play and new role play, and now I will see this screen. This is the screen in which we make scenes, put text and audio and link scenes. That is it. So I create a new scene and this window will open. Here you can add characters from the content library. If I click on that, I can choose any of these readily available characters, but if not, I can click on this and I can select out of many characters available. There are many filters available. You can select the character based on the race, based on the emotions, based on their clothing and age, etc. But basically they are divided into 2 groups, photos and hand-drawn illustrations. But I'm going to select this one and I click on close. So now what I do is I select the text for this scene 1, copy and paste it here. And because this scene doesn't have any reply, so I have to click on this just once, and the reason is that this will bring this link icon here. So I click on that and now this thing will appear, a new scene. This will be my scene 2 because in the first scene I only have description. I released my mouse button and the new scene will be created. In scene 2, I have a customer conversation and 3 possible replies for the training purpose. So I have to copy this text first, place it here. Then I click on add reply and copy the first reply, paste it here. Then I click add reply and paste my second reply. These are the false replies. Then Control C, my third reply, which is the correct one. And I close this. So this is the starting scene. This has a flag here. And from these 2 replies, new scenes will be created. So I click on this link and I drag. So this will be my scene number 3. And when I release, I can see number 3 here. This is my scene number 3. So I will put in this scene 3 and create this scene as usual. And then I click on this once, which will create this link icon. And I want to link this to my initial slide. So when I bring this inside this, I will see this message, link to number 1, and I release. Similarly, the other false reply I will link here, and this correct reply I want to move down like this. But make sure that you follow the sequence because this is now scene number 4 here, the correct reply. But in our spreadsheet, we have made this scene number 5. So we have to follow the same convention. Otherwise, we will mess up our file naming convention. So therefore, I right click on this and I delete it. First, I create scene number 4 here from the second false reply. And then I create scene number 5 for the correct reply and put the text inside. So this is how you link these scenes. Now the final thing is how to insert the audio files. To do that, I click on this and I click on voiceover, and now I will see this screen in this way. I can see the text here, all of my 3 replies, but I have to connect audio with this text. To do that, I click on my first conversation, which is customer conversation, and this is scene number 2. I can click on this red icon and I can record. But I want to import from the file. So I click on this import. I know my file convention, sc2-customer. So I click on that and I click open. Now I will see this little arrow and I can click on that. and I can play a little bit to see that the audio is correct. Similarly for this one, I click on import and this is scene 2R1. I click on that, I click open and my audio is here. I can click and preview, and in this way I can add audios for my text conversations. Once you have added all the audios, I'm not going to do this further because the video is becoming very long. Then you click on this cross sign to close this window, and the most important thing is that you click on this save button, save and return to course. I click on that and now I can return back to my course. Now the final thing I would like to show you is the final shape of this role play, which I have already shown you. So I click on this role play and I click on this icon. It will take few seconds and it will show us the flow diagram of our role play. And you can pause the video, and I'm going to scroll this from scene number 1 to scene number 15, and this will be a good exercise if you follow this video and create this role play from the scratch. In this way you will understand each and everything I explained to you. Otherwise you might miss something. So that is it for today. I hope you learned something from this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you next time.